Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well, and shalom to the whole full elect. It's a biblical commentary on the book of Joshua, the 10th chapter, and it reads, Now it came to pass when Adonai Zedek, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, as he had done in Jericho and her king, so he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them. Okay, now this Adonai Zedek, king of Jerusalem, funny enough, through the spirit, even though he was an idol worshipper, set to be slated to be judged according to the prophecy of Deuteronomy the 7th chapter, the 2nd verse, and also the 16th verse, about having no pity on, the Canaanites. He actually had a name, which basically is other ones a duck or like righteous Lord or Lord, Lord righteousness, and he was a king over Jerusalem, where the Most High, that's the Most High's city basically. But it just shows you that the land, pertains to holiness. But even though they're doing it in wickedness, I ain't trying to say they're righteous. It's more about within that place, it personifies a certain type of energy to the fact that this wicked king even had a name like that. All right, so second verse, that they feared greatly because Gibeon was a great city as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all the men thereof were mighty. So they thought within themselves, this is a mighty city that probably would have had a chance against our people, the children of Israel, who are today not known in the streets because they're known as so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and also are scattered all over the earth. All right, that basically because they submitted, they basically through a form of supplanting, basically made a league with our forefathers, and they were they were in great fear because they did that, and they were one of the royal cities. Wherefore Adonai Zedek, king of Jerusalem, sent unto Hoham, king of Hebron, and unto Param, king of Imoth, and unto um, Jamoth, and unto Japhi, king of Lachish, and unto Debar, king of Eglon, saying, Come up unto me and help me, that we may smite Gibeon, for I have made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. Therefore the five kings of the Amorites and the five of Jerusalem and the king of Jerusalem. Therefore the five kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon gathered themselves together and went up, they and all their hosts, and encamped before Gibeon and made war against it, because they figured that was one of the great cities. Hey, if we don't take them out, they're gonna serve with Israel to come and take us out, man. And they're traitors anyway, because they're brothers, they're kin. But as far as they're concerned, they sold out to the children of Israel. Verse 6, And the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp of Gilgal, saying, Slack not thy hand from thy servants, come up to us quickly and save us and help us. For all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us. So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. Now it shows you these are heathens. But the point being is they were the possession of Israel, and the Lord set up as to where Joshua went down there to deliver them, to defend them. All right. So what more so? What the Most High, will He not defend us? He definitely will. And even this even proves the point, going back to Exodus 11th and 7th chapter, where it speaks that basically it says about against the children of Israel, shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast. All right, so basically against a man or beast. Basically, I mean, simple question: is there beasts that are from the lineage of the children of Israel? I mean, today there is, because you got some of our people that well, technically they ain't, because they're not Israel. But my point being is, there's no a beast is a beast. It's a dog, but that means what it's talking about is because it's your beast, your horse, your cattle, your sheep. That's your possession. So it's a possession unto the children of Israel. So that's saying that no one's allowed to do no ill towards our possessions because that pertains unto us. So that's why Joshua went down there, because that's an extension, a proxy of the children of Israel. And you touch one of ours and you have to be handled. And that goes back to Exodus the 11th chapter. And the Lord said unto Joshua, fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hand. There shall not a man of them stand before thee. Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly and went up from Gilgal all night. And the Lord discomfited them before Israel and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way that goeth up to Betharon, and smote them to Azekah and Makkedah. Makkedah. And it came to pass, as they fled from Israel, and they were in going down to Betharon, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them unto Azekah, and they died. They were more which died with hailstones than they whom of the children of Israel slew with the sword. So what did the Lord say unto Joshua in verse 8? He said, the Lord said unto Joshua, fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hand. That's why, man, because the Most High, hey, even if we, by our hands, going back to that time, or even in this day and age, before the Lord raises us up, he'll always create a way whereby his hand is not short or slack to basically deliver us, man. He opened up, he made hailstones fall from the sky and smoke from the heavens and smote them, and more people died from those hailstones than they did by the hand of the children of Israel that slew them by the sword, man. And that shows you the mighty work of the Most High Power, whose real name is Yahweh, meaning Yah meaning he, and Hawa meaning to be, because he is everything. That's what it tells you in the book of Hebrews, that you have to believe, basically, if you come unto him, you have to believe that he is, and he will deliver. All right, verse 12. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel, and he said in the sight of Israel, sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Leon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. It's not written in the book of Joshua, and it ain't talking about that bullshit book you have today, man, because the history don't link up. So the sun stood still in the midst of the heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole day. So the Most High seized the sun to go down. So he had an extended amount of day for the people to be, slew. And it's going to make sense as well why the Lord did that. All right, as we read on. And there was no day like that before it or after it, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man. For the Lord fought for, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man. So yeah, Joshua told the sun to stay still, and the Most High made it happen, man. That's some deep shit. Alright, for the Lord fought for Israel, and Joshua returned, and all Israel with him. And it's funny, it just hit me in the head now. Joshua, the name, Yahweh Shai, he bear the same name as our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai. All right, and basically, he's the day star, basically, that's gonna bring about the day. All right, and basically, the sun's never gonna set on his rulership. All right, he's gonna fight within our people. So, verse 15, and Joshua returned, and all Israel with him unto the camp to Gilgal. And these 5 kings fled and hid themselves in a cave in Makkedah. And it was told Joshua, saying, the 5 kings are found hid in a cave in Makkedah. And Joshua said, roll great stones upon the mouth of the cave, and set men by it, for to keep them. And stay not, but pursue after your enemies, and smite the hindermost of them. Suffer them not to enter into their cities, for the Lord your power hath delivered them into your hand. And it came to pass, when Joshua and the children of Israel had made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter, till they were consumed, that the rest which remained of them entered into fenced cities. All right. And all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. None moved his tongue against the children against any of the children of Israel. Hey, Exodus 11:7. Then said Joshua, open the mouth of the cave, and bring out those 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so, and brought forth those 5 kings unto him out of the cave: the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said unto the captains of the men of war, which went with him, come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. And they came near, and put their feet upon the necks of them. Verse 25. And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed, be strong and of good courage, for thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom you fight. And afterward Joshua smote them, and slew them, and hanged them on 5 trees, and they were hanging upon the trees until the evening. So the Lord let the sun set, but only once they had put the foots on the necks of the kings, all right, of these nations, and to show and to Joshua to put that the word, to personify that prophecy, that look, man, be of good, be mighty, because and have no fear, great faith in the Lord, because basically the Lord's gonna give you the next to your enemies, all right. And then they what do? They put them on after they were dealt with, whatever manner. Doesn't say. My guess is they were decapitated or whatnot, or whatever may have you, hung on the trees. And then the evening came. Before the evening, the sun was setting, they took them off, man, according to the law. And it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun, that Joshua commanded, they took them down off the trees, and cast them into the cave wherein they had been hid, and laid great stones in the cave's mouth, which remain unto this very day. And that day Joshua made Makkedah, and took Makkedah, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the kingdom of, and he utterly destroyed. Oh man, hold on.